Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve-O and Renee. Sit back each week while Steve-O and Renee educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O and Renee with today's expert in their field.
Good afternoon and welcome to another hour of Ask the Experts, where we interview some of South Florida's top experts. And boy, do we have some great experts on with us today.
We do.
Hey, I'm Steve-O and I'm here with my co-host Renee.
How you doing, Steve-O?
Doing great. Every week we do every Monday and Friday we bring on some of the top experts in the country. And today, do we have a great expert? You know, we have a little bit older audience here. So we are privileged.
We really are.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
To have Morselife, yes.
When it comes to Morselife, and today's show, we're going to talk about the Mac Pavilion at Morselife. And
if you'd like to watch today's show live, go to www.morselife.com.
Org.
Oh, it's .org.
.org.
Okay, .org. And you could watch the show live. And the first half hour, we have Carmen Schell, and she is the Vice President of Clinical Services for Morselife. And the second half hour, we have the top taxation relief company in the United States. So let's get to our first guest, the Senior Vice President of Clinical Services for Florida's second largest continuum of care for senior services organization, Morselife. Hi, Carmen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We got to make her feel really welcome.
So we're going to discuss short-term rehabilitation today. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a registered nurse by profession. I have been at Morselife for 14 years.
Yikes.
And that's
Does it feel like 14 years?
It feels like 100 sometimes. But no, and before that, I had taken care of children. So I kind of did the other end of the spectrum.
As a nurse?
As a nurse,
yes.
In
the pediatric unit?
Pediatrics, yes. At the Shriners.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's incredible credentials.
Well, thank you.
That's exceptional. What?
I would just, I feel, in
So
Shriners
she went
does
from
a burn center for children,
yes,
right?
they do.
Yes.
So she went from taking care of pediatrics to seniors.
Yes.
Wow. So that means you've got a giving and caring heart. Good for you.
Yes, I've found my niche.
Your niche, yeah.
Yes, is the elderly.
So tell everybody a little bit about Morselife.
Morselife has been around for 32 years. We're not-for-profit. We're very progressive. We're constantly planning for the future. We don't sit on our laurels. Our motto is, what can we do next? How can we be more efficient? How can we deliver care better? How can we give better customer service? That's what we're always striving for.
How about you have the best looking place on the block? Your building is beautiful.
Not just on the block in South Florida.
That's true.
Really, really nice.
It's the Mac Pavilion has to me, the feel and look of a luxury hotel.
It does.
Not an institutional feeling.
A 5-star.
5-star.
Five-star
exactly.
hotel.
Yes.
So I understand that you've just opened up this rehabilitation center, and it is so innovative. So I can't wait to hear about it.
Well, we opened in January 14th. We opened full. It is 120 beds. Each of those beds, those units are divided into 6 neighborhoods. So you have 6 neighborhoods of 20 beds each, which is a different concept. Each neighborhood has a fully functional kitchen, a separate dining room, and a great room for reading, watching television, just relaxing. Each of the rooms are private, with a private bath, with a very large window overlooking typically the lake or the center courtyard garden. So it's a very relaxing atmosphere with it's a very unique setting. It's a small setting, and it takes the institution out. I call it a medical model in a social setting.
And what makes it so innovative?
We did a lot of research. We worked with our architects to find out what are the current themes and trends, what's happening for the seniors in short-term stay? What makes them comfortable? How can we be unique? And the concept of a neighborhood in a short-term stay is really revolutionary. And it has the feel of it's comfortable.
Where did that come from, the neighborhood?
It started off in long-term care, where they were trying to deinstitutionalize long-term care. So the best way was to make smaller units, not units of 60 or 40, but to break it down so people felt attached, like a neighborhood, like you do with your neighbors.
So for the short term, do they typically go home after their short term stay?
Yes.
So they come out of a hospital for rehabilitation.
Yes.
And then they're typically sent home if they can be.
They come from the hospital. Sometimes we get direct admits from the ER, and sometimes we get direct admits from their house. They come from their home to the short-term stay. And they typically stay, it depends on the patient, their diagnosis, but typically 14, 20 days, depending.
So if they have physical therapy and certain types of therapy that they need.
Yes.
Why don't you brag on the technology?
Well, the technology is it's quite interesting.
Because you guys are so far ahead of everybody else.
Because when you have these neighborhoods, we decided to get a new call bell system, which doesn't sound that innovative, but wait until you hear it. It's a call system where the staff and the patient wear a small badge, which we call fobs, and that fob is a locator. So any place in the building where the resident and staff are, we can track them on it's called a glance and go screen. So it helps us
so you
locate
track them. It's like a GPS.
Absolutely. It is a GPS.
You track your patients.
Yes. And it can shut doors. Say if you have someone who is maybe they're wandering in the wrong spots, it can close the door so they remain safe. It's also a system that has an emergency call system on it. So if you're not at your bedside and don't have your call button, you're in the hallway, you're in the bathroom, or some other place where a system isn't available, you just press the button and it sends out an alarm.
Find you if there's a
and
problem.
We know where they are. And
That's incredible.
Say, basically, you're falling and I can't get up. They push a button and then it sends out a signal to that nursing unit. So we know where you are.
That is so amazing. Wow.
I mean, also I'm thinking about people with dementia, maybe that they could feel a little bit more at ease, that someone's always going to know.
Especially for those patients.
So they're not going to wander out of the building.
Exactly.
We'll know because alarms go off and doors will shut automatically. We also have, it's called electronic information centers posted throughout that let the families and the patients know what's going on in the building. It makes general announcements, just keeps them informed. We also now use an electronic medical record. So we have no paper chart. Everything is done on the computer.
Wow.
Which is what an experience. That is.
You guys are so far ahead of everybody. Who's your typical patient?
Oh, probably someone over 65. They've, as we spoke, been in the hospital, had an ER visit, or they've been to the hospital, they've gone home, and they need additional services. They're not ready to transition back to their community living. So they come to us for typically intravenous therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, in order to return to their prior level of functioning.
So does insurance cover this?
Yes, it does. Many of our patients are traditional Medicare. We also take commercial insurances.
So you take Medicare?
We do. We take Medicare, Medicare Advantage, and some commercial insurances.
We probably ought to thank Sandra and David Mack.
Yes, we should. Yes,
Since they have the building name
for their generous donation.
Absolutely.
How nice.
We receive a lot of support from our donors. As you go through the building, you'll see various names on elevators, walls, different sections, different neighborhoods have names. The
I love
rehab
the
center
neighborhood concept. I mean, if you think about, if you're a senior citizen, I'd feel so much more at ease calling it a neighborhood. So it's just it's just so amazing the things that
because some of these facilities are very depressing when you go into them.
Yes, you are.
I know my mother was in a rehab, and it was so depressing. It really was.
You'll have to come. The colors are soothing. There's tremendous artwork throughout the building. We have a classroom there. We have a beauty shop.
What about dialysis? Is there dialysis on the property?
We do peritoneal dialysis, but for hemodialysis, they go to a dialysis clinic off-site.
Okay. So, we were talking about Morselife last time, about just the whole campus is so beautiful there.
Right. We were looking at the pictures. It's amazing.
And you serve not just Palm Beach County, but actually anybody in Florida.
Yes. Oftentimes our patients come from Miami-Jackson. They'll come from Cleveland Clinic and all of the area hospitals. So regardless of where
program. So does the pavilion do that as well?
it's all kosher.
Oh, it's all kosher.
It's all
there.
kosher.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, Carmen, what time's dinner tonight?
I know. Well, kosher food, I don't know if you've
Early bird
realized.
special, 5:30.
Yes, that's true. That's very cute.
5:30.
Carmen has a sense of humor.
No kidding. You know what? We're going to go to break right now. And
Perfect.
when we come back, we have more talk with Morselife and Carmen Shell. Great sport, too, huh?
We'll be right
We'll
back.
be right back.
Morselife is a nationally recognized provider of elder care and support services for seniors and their families in Palm Beach County. Located on the expansive Maryland and Stanley M. Katz Seniors Campus in West Palm Beach. Morselife is dedicated to enhancing quality of life for older adults through a full range of services. Morselife provides long-term care, state-of-the-art short-term rehabilitation, luxury independent and assisted living, memory care, and home health services. Morselife is also the exclusive Palm Beach County affiliate for PACE, the national program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. Morselife has been awarded the Governor's Gold Seal of Excellence and is a 5-star nursing facility committed to continuous research and training that consistently delivers enlightened senior care. Morselife also offers concierge care for clients seeking an enhanced level of private home care. For more information or a tour of the campus, please call 561-471-5111 or visit www.morselife.org.
And we're back live in studio with the Vice President of Clinical Services for Morselife, Carmen Shell. So how do you set rehabilitation goals for a patient?
It's not something that you do in a vacuum because it involves an interdisciplinary team. That's the medical staff, the nursing staff, the rehabilitation team, social services, and the patient and family.
So there's a lot involved.
There's a lot involved because you can't set them without, you're looking at what's their prior level of function.
Right.
Where did they live prior to coming to Morselife? Did they have stairs? Did they have steps? Did they live alone? What services will they need when they go home to expedite a safe discharge? So all of that is taken into consideration, and the program is developed, and we monitor the progress. Sometimes there are setbacks, and then you just start from the beginning and move forward, and sometimes there's just steady progress. But that's really how it's said, and it can be adapted at any moment.
Have you ever seen the interview process at all? I bet it's very lengthy as they come in.
Oh,
and
absolutely,
the interview
yes.
process
Yes.
of what they like, the kind of
Yes.
food, their living conditions.
Every discipline does their own entry assessment, from medical to nursing to social services to rehab. So it's not just a rehab program. It's a comprehensive look at the patient as an individual. What do they need? What are their goals? And how are we going to meet those goals and those needs? And that's how the
thought
plan
of
is
everything.
formulated.
Yes.
We try.
Nothing gets by
So let
Morselife.
me ask you something, because I see in a lot of other rehabilitation facilities that a portion of the patients don't end up going home, because even as you get older, sometimes even the rehabilitation process, they can't function on their own, and maybe they don't have nursing coverage for nurses or aides coming to the house. So do you find a portion of those do end up going into maybe an assisted living facility, into one of your assisted living facilities?
Yes. So when we do our discharge planning, it really starts on day one. What is the plan of treatment while they're here, and what is the discharge plan? And that discharge plan may mean assisted living. It may mean long-term care. It may be going back to their community and their house or their home. So they're all options that have to be considered. But yes, there are a small percentage that do not return to their prior living environment.
And the nice part about Morse Life is that you could go from assisted living
Yes.
to, there's different
Exactly.
phases that you could go to and move
I want
along
to give
in Morse
Morse
Life.
Life an idea because everything is
You're
so...
giving them
I'm
ideas?
going to give them an idea, and I'm going to probably charge a fee for this, but...
A small one.
Very small. Now, you actually have a waiting list for your assisted living.
We do. We have a waiting list for our assisted living and our independent living.
Okay, so why don't you just add bunk beds then? See, we get more people in that way.
Well, we are expanding.
I don't know if it'll be bunk beds, but
And
yes.
I was saying the most amazing thing about Morse Life is that you have a waiting list. And we were talking before we even came on air. There are thousands of assisted living facilities in South Florida. And the
Yes.
fact that you have a waiting list speaks volume to the type of facility that you run.
It does. It's a desirable place. It's comfortable, and we can never forget the staff.
Oh,
It's not only the
absolutely.
building; it's the staff.
Absolutely.
You can't work in healthcare and work with seniors if you're not passionate about what you do and you don't have compassion, because you can go through the motions, but you're easily read. So we look for staff. We're very picky. We look for staff who have that drive. We can teach skills. We can't teach you to be compassionate.
You got to give us your phone number and your website address again.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. 561-471-5111 is our telephone number, and our website is morselife.org. Morselife is one word.
And tell everybody where you're located.
We're located at off of Haverhill between Okeechobee and 45th Street. The actual address is 4847 Fred Gladstone Drive.
Now, let's
West
talk
Palm
about
Beach.
how important it is for the family to be involved with this. Do you actually bring the family in? Are they all part of this too?
The family is vital. They're so much a part of the planning. They can be they're motivating, they're cajoling, they're encouraging. They're working with us to form that plan, whether it's a husband, a daughter, a son, a wife. They're working with us and that patient, because they want to transition that person to their prior level of function as well as their living environment, if at all
Yes.
possible.
Yeah.
So they really help us on day to day and
They're
working
part
with
of
the
the
plans.
recovery.
They're part of the recovery, and they're there. We have a lot of family participation.
That's
I
wonderful.
don't know why it is that usually the daughter takes care of the parents.
Yes,
But now with so many women in the workforce, it's got to be
It's
harder,
difficult, yeah.
more difficult.
it's still primarily the daughters, I would say, but it doesn't mean that the sons aren't there or the spouses. But
Is she
oftentimes,
being diplomatic now?
oftentimes the spouse is the same age as the patient. So maneuvering through the healthcare system, sometimes it takes a younger person. It's not so simple.
So do you find that some of these patients get discouraged or depressed because they're going through this
Absolutely.
and they're not seeing the progress possibly that they want to see?
Absolutely. No one wants to be sick. No one wants to go to the
Exactly.
hospital, whether you're having elective surgery or emergency surgery, and then you want to go home, and then you can't.
Home is safe for
Home
them.
is safe. Home is comfortable. Home is something I've always known, something that makes me feel good. And you come to Morse Life. It's a very comfortable setting in our neighborhoods.
But it's not your home.
It's not home. And yes, they get discouraged because oftentimes they expect to immediately bounce back. And
the older you get, the tougher it is.
the tougher it is, and you just have to put in the time. And yes, they can get depressed, but we have services. We have a psychologist who's there several days a week. We have a psychiatrist if that's the level of care your depression or your discouragement needs. So there are ways, and we're just encouraging any little bit of progress. We let you know, and believe me, the patient knows. They've walked
Positive
5 feet.
reinforcement.
They walked 5 feet today and 10 feet tomorrow, or they're able to transfer on their own. Those small increments of progress are really important.
Can
Oh,
I
I'm
tell you
sure they are.
something? We so appreciate your service
Well, thank you very much.
with what Morse Life does. It's
amazing. It
Yeah,
really is.
It is. It's just you should pinch yourself every morning when you wake up, because what you do is really giving back, and it's really amazing.
Thank you. I would not have been there for 14 years if it was not the quality organization and the progressive organization. That's what I like, the forward thinking.
And I have to mention that they are rated 5 stars by the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration and 5 stars by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, which is a national ranking. I mean, that's truly amazing.
What
It
a
is.
surprise. I'm not.
And there's one other thing that I would like to add. We're also, we've been awarded the Gold Seal by the state of Florida's governor for the last 6 years. It's an award that you apply for, and you go through an application process with committees and interviews, site visits, and the final pretty much stamp of approval is from the governor. And there are probably less than 25 Gold Seal recipients out of almost 700 facilities. So we're very proud, and that's
Should be.
when you're looking for a short-term rehab building facility stay. That's where you need to start looking. How are they rated by the Agency for Healthcare Administration? How does CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, that's our Medicare, basically, from federal. And that's how you start looking. Then you visit.
It's more
So what does
like-
that mean for your patient then?
It means that everybody can say they're good.
Right.
Everybody can say
Do you ever get a B plus and then like
no,
be
No,
really
they're A-rated. They're
no.
A-rated.
totally out of it? I mean,
No.
ashamed.
no.
They make sure not to.
Not to. We just had our annual survey, which was deficiency free. But it's not only more saying we're high quality. It's an independent observer surveyor that's coming into our building. That's how we get those ratings and rankings. And that's how we got our gold seal. It's best. What are your best practices? Are you financially stable? What's your customer satisfaction? All of those things go into getting those stars, and they go into getting the gold seal. And that's what families should look for. An independent observer, rather than the facility saying we have the highest quality, we're the best, we're the finest. What do those stars look like? How does CMS rank you? Do you have a gold seal? Those are questions families should ask.
Once a person goes home,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to the quality of care then?
Well, you hope that
Do
they
you do any
maintain.
kind of follow-up?
We do. We'll make follow-up phone calls just to check and see how they're doing. But we typically arrange for home health, and home health is usually 4 to 6 weeks. It involves either physical therapy, occupational therapy.
Which
In the
Morse
house?
offers.
Yes. In their house, we go to the house because just because they leave at a certain level of functioning, if you don't work on that for several weeks,
You wanna maintain that.
You want to maintain it. Some need household services. They may need cleaning services. They may need someone to go grocery shopping.
So you
for them.
provide that as well?
We provide that as well. So care management. You have a family that lives remotely. They don't live in the state. You don't understand the healthcare system. They help you maneuver through the healthcare system. They go to doctor's appointments. They make appointments. They communicate. They're kind of the liaison between the healthcare staff and the family and the patient, and getting them having a better understanding of what's happening. Oftentimes, the elderly will visit a physician, and the family will say, "What did he say?" And well, I don't know. So that's care managers help with the communication. They help with the maneuvering and with the understanding of what's actually going on with the patient.
So you cover all the bases.
We cover everything.
What is the biggest obstacle like a stroke patient or a heart attack patient? What does the patient have to overcome this? Because that's got to be so debilitating after a stroke or a heart attack.
It's absolutely. First of all, it's how severe was the stroke? Did it affect their speech? Did it affect their ability to ambulate, to feed themselves? Do they have a weakness on one side
Right, sometimes
or
you
the
left
other?
paralyzed.
Absolutely. And then and it's also the fear of it happening again. It happened once,
Yes.
so can it happen again? With a heart attack, did they end up having a stent placed in their artery? Did they end up having to have open heart surgery? So those are the things that we look at. What's the extent? Where are they? Where were they? And where can we get them? And sometimes, as we spoke earlier, with a stroke, especially a severe stroke, they are not able to go home. and we have to look at other levels of care and services for that patient. We take care of both stroke, we call them victors, stroke victors, because you're a survivor. And also we do take care of post-open heart surgery patients as well, and stents and pacemakers.
I would think that's so tough because you're not just working on them physically, but the mental aspect of it is like, I've just had a stroke.
Right.
I've just had, I mean, that's got to be scary.
And sometimes, like you said before, sometimes that leaves them without being able to, with their speech, have a problem speaking.
Just think if you couldn't speak.
Right.
Oh.
There'd be no Ask the Experts.
No more Ask the Experts. God, you know what? The show has gone by
It has.
so fast.
Give everybody your phone number again.
It's 561-471-5111 is the main number to Morselife.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Final question. Why should I choose Morselife over anybody else?
Over anybody else?
I choose them.
I'm already ready for dinner tonight.
Really, everything that we spoke about. But I mean, we are passionate about what we do. We are truly committed to quality of care and services and excellent customer service. You can give the best care, but if you don't give quality customer service, then the other is forgotten.
I think that's so essential. It really
Come
is.
and visit us. Then you'll see the staff. You'll see our patients. You'll see the buildings, the neighborhoods. Look at our rankings, and it's the outcomes.
I'm going to put our listeners on the spot.
Are you really?
If you want the finest facility, probably in the United States, especially for your parents.
I'm putting our names on the waiting list.
Yes.
Too young.
You should call
Thank
Morselife. Check out the facility. At least check it out.
Yes.
This
Or
place
go
is
online
beautiful.
to morselife.org, and you can see it on there. And it's magnificent. It really is.
We can't thank you enough for coming on today.
Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you for having us.
They're going to be
pleasure.
with us again next month, and I love having them on. Thanks a lot for coming on today.
Thank you for inviting us.
You're welcome. We love
Absolutely.
you guys. Hey, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we have the big mucker, the tax relief people.
Taxation Solutions.
If you're having any kind of tax problems, we've got the solution. We'll be right back.
Morselife is a nationally recognized provider of elder care and support services for seniors and their families in Palm Beach County. Located on the expansive Maryland and Stanley M. Katz Seniors Campus in West Palm Beach. Morselife is dedicated to enhancing quality of life for older adults through a full range of services. Morselife provides long-term care, state-of-the-art short-term rehabilitation, luxury independent and assisted living, memory care, and home health services. Morselife is also the exclusive Palm Beach County affiliate for PACE, the national program of all-inclusive care for the elderly. Morselife has been awarded the Governor's Gold Seal of Excellence and is a 5-star nursing facility committed to continuous research and training that consistently delivers enlightened senior care. Morselife also offers concierge care for clients seeking an enhanced level of private home care. For more information or a tour of the campus, please call 561-471-5111 or visit www.morselife.org.